Hi, my name is Ellie, as you all know, and today I will be educating you all on the proper steps to planning a wedding. I will be talking about the 9 steps to planning a proper wedding and how this speech will be relevant to all of you. So firstly, I will talk about the time spent planning a wedding. My first subject is the venue. You have to ask them like specific rules that you have to follow, and you have to ask them if they provide catering, if they provide tables and chairs, or if they provide like a dance floor, for instance. And sometimes the wedding planner is included in the venue, so you need to ask about that, and you have to often ask about music and linens like tablecloths and stuff, because sometimes you'll have to bring your own. Next is the dress. You hear this old saying of something new, something old, something borrowed, and something blue. When you're going to buy the wedding dress, let's just say David's Bridal, for instance, that's a wedding store. So you'll have to get obviously the wedding dress, and you'll have to get a matching veil for it. And sometimes if you buy the dress from a store, you can get a discount on the bridesmaid dresses. So along with the bridesmaid dresses, you have to get a flower girl dress. And along with those two, you have to get matching shoes and jewelry for it. And oftentimes, the shop will provide a rental tux program. Next is decorations. You have to think about what you want your color scheme to be and what you want your theme to be. Once you figure those two out, you can get your table decorations, and you can figure out what you want party favors to be for each guest. And you have to figure out what you want your guests to see when they first enter the venue, and like what you want on all the aisles. Like sometimes people have like flowers or vases or something lining the aisles. Next are the flowers. You of course have a bridal bouquet that she will keep, but you will also have a throwaway bouquet that she like tosses over her shoulder. You'll have bridesmaids bouquets, and you'll have flowers for the groomsmen and the groom. And you will also have flowers for grandparents and parents. Flowers for musicians and the pastor if you choose to have a pastor. You will want flowers for the altar, decorations for the entrance, the food table, the gift table, and the cake table. And sometimes you can even want decorations for each individual table. Next is catering. You have to figure out whether you want a buffet or a plate, because if you want a plate, that means like $30 per plate or $15 per plate, so that depends how many people you also want to invite. You also want to think about saving money, so can you do something of the food, like make some food yourself to save money? Do you want basic menu or something fancy, and what do the people want to eat? You have to offer a variety to meet everyone's dietary needs, and you also have to think about what time of the day the wedding is going to be. Sometimes people don't expect a meal, they can just expect appetizers, so you should probably want to specify that. And the meal is a large expense and can get very expensive depending on how large the wedding party is. Next is invitations. This deals with your color scheme and your theme. So the save the date cards do you want formal or informal invitations? Will you write your own addresses or design labels? You have to think about postage, envelopes, and note cards for RSVP, so you can keep account on guests. And the bride and groom each need to make their own invitation list so that you don't leave anyone out. And you have to collect addresses and go over the list with the families. Next is budgeting. This is often the hardest part of the wedding. You have to get accurate estimates on everything, and you have to be able to have a head start on payments. If you can make monthly payments instead of putting down large sums, things are often more affordable, and you'll be able to afford to do more. You can also make a list of things that you want to make yourself or purchase after like the holidays are on clearance. You can also contact others who have recently married and borrow or rent some of the supplies that they used for their event. Next is photography. Do you want formal pictures or someone to do candid photos? They will take a flat fee and will either give you a disc or something else so that you can print your own photos, and you will have to order through them. You have to list the different kinds of shots that you want, different groups, how early you want the photographer to be there, etc., etc. You have to ask them if they want to stay through the reception, and do you want a photographer to follow the bride around? What about a videographer for somebody to record special things and stuff like that. So my last one is the honeymoon. Don't take a chance on this and go with a travel agent and plan ahead. Decide your destination and figure out how many days you can afford to be on vacation, and give yourself plenty of travel time. Get passports in order because you will need some time spending money budgeted in for this. So my speech is relevant to everyone today because you will obviously sometime you might get married one day and there are a lot of things to think about. And after my speech, you might choose to elope instead. So in conclusion, thank you all for watching my speech, and I hope you learned something valuable.